Alright, today we're going to be doing one of my favorites, the disco shrimp. Love throwing this pattern pretty much at juvenile tarpon and snook, mostly juvenile tarpon. So we're going to start out with a SA 220 in a size 1, and you'll notice these little things here on the front. This is 3 pieces of sequence that I got from Hobby Lobby in gold. Got a Hobby Lobby near you, these are great little things to help make your fly push a little extra water. So we got some orange thread on here, and we're going to be tying this one today in orange and tan because that's what was requested by a customer. So we're going to start out with the first material here at the back of the hook, and this is EP Foxy Brush. The EP Chromatic brush works just as well, but I stopped using it as much because it got to be a little more expensive here recently. But they both work the same, they're both very similar materials. So we're going to fold a little bit of this over, kind of pinch it, and then we're going to cut that right off of the wire here without hitting the wire with our scissors. You'll see that makes a nice little tapered piece there. So we can pick out a few of these longs and brush out a couple of the shorter fibers as well. The nice thing about using this brush is it has the flash already built in that you need. So we'll just go right here off the back, kind of work the fibers around the hook shank just a little bit here, and go in and tie this in right on the back of the hook. Alright, and we can just cut out our excess. The next material that we're going to add to the bottom side of this hook, and this is daddy long legs. These are really thin leg materials. They're very stretchy, but I found on a pattern like this they actually make really good shrimp legs or antennas or whatever just coming out the back of the fly. So, and if I ever make like a tarantula brush or something on my own, these are what you'd use to make those kind of brushes. So we'll just kind of fold those around the hook, tie right back up on them. And we can leave those right where they're at for the moment. Perfect. Alright, so now we'll go back to our Foxy brush again. We'll get another little section here. Again, fold it over and cut it off the wire. This time we're going to make this section really short. Here we want this section to be shorter than the last section, as it's going to go underneath the last section. But same thing, we'll brush it out and then we'll tie it right in. So we've got it shorter, bring it right around our hook. And this is what will keep our legs from fouling around our hook shank here. Along with it adds a little bit of bulk to the head of this fly. Alright. Now we can flip that back over. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is add our eyes. These are our orange crustacean eyes that we have on the site. So we're just going to go ahead and kind of measure these about as long as we want them. I'm going to mark that with my fingers. Then I'm just going to take my pliers and just kind of mash down and fold back the side that has the eyes on it. Kind of make myself just a little tie-in point right there. And kind of mash this down so the thread is something to attach to. And then all we'll do is right where the crease is, that's where we'll start our tie-in point on the back of the fly. Kind of get a couple wraps going forward here. Capture that. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. And if we did this right, our eyes should be relatively the same length on both sides of the shank of the hook. And they'll have a nice little natural curve as well out away from the hook. You can see, already starting to look shrimpy here. We'll give a couple of wraps behind each eye just to kind of prop them out a little bit more. Perfect. So you can see that's looking real nice and shrimpy already. And we'll come back to our Foxy Brush. This time we'll grab one more clump. We'll try to make this clump a little bit bigger than the last ones that we had there. So this one, we want this one to be a little bit longer than that first clump that we tied in. That way we have a nice little kind of shrimp head look to it. On this one, we're not going to pull out any of the longs. We're just going to use kind of the full length there of this clump. Now you'll kind of notice this is a little bit bigger of a shrimp than a lot of people use. I like making them big because I'm throwing them at tarpon. This size would be good for like bull reds as well. But you could definitely tie this down in like a number 2 or number 4 if that's what you are desiring there. So next thing we're going to do is get another Foxy Brush, but this time we're going to get the smaller one, the 1.5 inch. And this is what's going to make up the body of our fly. We're going to get that and we're just going to tie it in right here behind our head, and we'll kind of just get it out of our way here for the moment. And then we're going to tie the top part of our fly with a piece of foam, and I may have made this piece of foam a little thick. Let me see if I got a thinner piece. That piece looks a little thinner. You don't want your foam to be too thick for this. So we've got some two-tone foam. Let's go with, we'll go with this way. So I'm just going to tie this piece of foam in right here at the back of the fly. And then we'll advance our thread a little forward. Then we're just going to take our Foxy Brush, come in as tight as we can. We're going to do 3 wraps. Each time we do a wrap, we're just kind of pulling those fibers down and back, making sure they all get captured in a downward trajectory there. And we'll just come move our thread up here, and we'll come back over our foam again. And then we just kind of repeat this process all the way up to the front of this fly. Except this time we're only going to do, we'll probably still do 3 wraps. Just here, we got 3. And we'll come over again with our thread, capturing our foam. And this one we'll do all the way to our sequence. Kind of move some of this out of here so I can capture it. This is kind of the hardest one to tie in here. And leave you a lot of room, but you'll get it. And we can go ahead and cut our Foxy Brush out. And we can go ahead and trim our foam. Alright. Then we'll just take a couple, I guess we'll do a couple half hitches here. Right between the foam and our sequence. You see our foam's kind of separating there. We can easily fix that. It's not too big of a deal, but we can take a little bit of super glue, put it together, fix that problem. There we go. So next thing we're going to do is come in and just kind of trim a little V shape here on the back. Again, just kind of making it look like a little shrimp head. And then we'll just come in with a little bit of loon flow and try to get it down into these thread wraps here. Just makes it a little more durable, makes it so your foam really doesn't go anywhere on you. And the last thing we'll do is just kind of trim this up a little bit. So just get it right at a nice little angle here. And we'll kind of trim going backwards. You don't got to get overly aggressive with the trimming. From the wraps of that brush, there should be plenty of fibers there. And then we'll just kind of trim our legs here, kind of stagger as we cut them. You just want them to be a little longer than the head. And that's it. That's the disco shrimp. So great little shrimp pattern. Floats really well, pops, throws a ton of water when it pops, and looks very, very natural laying in the water. Like I said, great pattern for juvenile tarpon, for snook. Obviously, if you want to throw it at redfish, works on just about anything that's going to eat a shrimp. So, thanks for watching. Hope you guys like the pattern. And yeah, tie one up. Give us a like, a follow. You know, check out the site. We sell this on the site. So yeah, have a good one.